Hello everybody, my name's Big Citrus and let's get into it.
Does anyone care about Call of Duty anymore?
You know, when I was a child, every time a new Call of Duty game would come out, it would get dogged on for a number of reasons, but ultimately the game would still go on to make more $1 billion and be loved by a fair amount of people. And then, a year later, the new Call of Duty come out, the cycle would repeat with people saying that the game that came out before this new Call of Duty was actually underrated and really good, and people would even play that more than the new COD until the new COD got popular again. The COD cycle is one of the most infamously known memes in gaming because it's pretty extensively true and something that every Call of Duty fan has experienced. And for the first time in over 15 years, the cycle has been broken. I never thought that I would be able to say that Call of Duty is currently not the biggest franchise in gaming. It basically had a 10-year undefeated streak of being untouchable in terms of sales and relevancy. Everyone from the 8-year-old next door to 25-year-old alcoholic construction worker that lives in your upstairs basement would know about the game, would know about the new COD and be playing it the moment it drops. Now this shit is deader than the Queen of England. Like, obviously this isn't true. A lot of people still play the new Call of Duties and still like them, but I have never seen the franchise have quite a fall off when it comes to relevancy and people actually playing the games day to day as we've seen over the course of the last 4 years. On paper, these games still make as much money as they used to. People talk about it the same amount, blah blah blah, but do they really? Black Ops 6 has been revealed and has been received well, but in the week since the reveal, I've already seen the hype die down a lot. With previous Call of Duties, I feel like people were still talking about it every single day, but since there's been no new news, people just really haven't had anything to say and it's gone very quiet, which does partially reiterate to me that maybe no one cares about this franchise like they used to. It's crazy to me. All those billions of dollars this company has made, all of the time of the developers who were forced to work to get these games out in less than a year, all those blood, sweat, and tears might have been ultimately for nothing now, because this franchise is in the hands of Microsoft, and Microsoft recently has been cutting down projects left and right. Now, a lot of you might say, oh, there's no way they'd cancel Call of Duty, right? If they keep spending as much money as they have on these games and they're not making that big of a return on profit, Microsoft's been known to do that before. With all the projections for the games just going down and down, Black Ops 6 may genuinely be COD's last chance. We gotta look at the facts. There is a big difference between making $1 billion in 2022 versus making $1 billion in 2010. And honestly, the success of the new Call of Duty games just seems very inflated to me. If you're getting into video gaming, one of the games that is going to be pushed on you, marketed to you, you'll hear some people talking about it just because it's been around forever and it's always going to be constantly getting brought up in conversations about gaming and getting compared to things, is Call of Duty. It's just one of those franchises that was the definition of too big to fail. It's just so interesting to see something that is a pop culture icon slowly diminish into being an obscurity. So today, that's what we're here to figure out. Is the Call of Duty moment over? I don't really want to talk about numbers as much in this video. Look, this video really does not need to be that complicated, so in this video, I am going to, it sounds like I'm starting an essay. What is mid? Well, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines mid as, no seriously, we're just going to break everything up into 5 simple little categories, so your ADHD TikTok brain can, just skip to wherever you need to go. These are the 5 reasons that Call of Duty is no longer the cultural juggernaut it once used to be. Lego. The overexposure and glazing of Warzone. Call of Duty could feel its cultural legacy declining right around the release of Infinite Warfare and World War II. These are games that still sold incredibly well, but given the fact they were Call of Duty games, they were kind of trying to take the series in new directions. According to Activision, they underperformed, and there's a specific Call of Duty game that I think is the main reason why Call of Duty is in the fucking purgatory it's currently at. But Modern Warfare 2019 came out and did stupendous numbers. Not really at first, though. The game was a direct reboot, bringing back the old Modern Warfare characters that we hadn't seen for years, but it was the reboot for the franchise. There was a new Call of Duty engine, actual new gameplay mechanics, there was a much heavier focus on realism and grit than ever before. Modern Warfare 2019, ironically, got a huge surge of sales because of COVID-19. What a crossover. It did okay numbers out of the gate, but as lockdown started, a lot of people were looking for new games to play, and I remember the game went on sale just around the time the lockdown started, so a lot of people, including myself, ended up buying it. And the timing worked out really well for them too, because they had just dropped their new Battle Royale mode. Call of Duty had tried making a Battle Royale mode with Blackout, and it had mixed opinions. Some people loved it, some people hated that COD was even trying to make a Battle Royale mode. It was surprising to see that they made another BR. Warzone dropped in the spring of 2020, and looking back on it, this was something that I think would not have gotten nearly as popular without COVID being a thing. Warzone, when it dropped, was fine. and it had some new Battle Royale mode ideas, with the loadout system being pretty customizable and allowing you to have your own specific loadout each and every match, instead of having to try and loot to get the exact loadout and perks you wanted. And the design of the original map, Verdansk, being very position focused and sniper heavy. And of course, it had that fast Call of Duty gameplay that everybody loved, I think. Of course, Warzone was free to play, so there was basically no reason to not try it. And like I said, Modern Warfare 2019 went on sale right around this time, and if you wanted to actually customize your weapons that dropped with this that were in Warzone, you were going to have to play Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer to level them up and get attachments. So in order to compete with all the meta tryhard sweats, you needed to have the most meta tryhard sweat loadout, and it convinced a lot of people to actually buy Modern Warfare 2019, and I was one of those people who fell for it. Activision realized, holy shit, we just created the easiest marketing for the new COD in the world. Warzone is basically the marketing for every new Call of Duty game. There are a lot of people who only play the new Call of Duties so they can level up their guns and get these really OP game-breaking attachments that make like assault rifles into fully automatic snipers, or SMGs into the death machine power-up from Black Ops 1 zombies. If you wanted to compete in Warzone, especially with the heavy skill-based matchmaking that basically made it to where if you had one really good game, you're going to be playing against the top 10% of players in the next match, you had to have the current meta weapon loadout, and if you didn't have that, no matter how good your aim and mechanical skill was, you were going to get killed just because the other person had the better gun. Over the course of its lifespan, Warzone really would not get a lot of new content updates. There have been a few new maps, some limited time game modes that no one gave a fuck about, and I replayed Warzone briefly for this video, and I gotta say, I can barely tell the difference between this and the Warzone that dropped 4 years ago. Choosing the global panel, whoa god. This feels like a competitive fucking Microsoft store. This feels like a ranked shopping menu.
How the fuck would I get in this building?
That gun's not very good, is it?
Apparently not.
Go straight back in. This game sucks. The fact that I can just fucking come in there like a little bitch and just glide it through the window and just like my pistol did more damage than the LMG. Like, I can't move while I'm doing that. Oh, you okay? Oh.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Ow! Wait, actually, this game might be horrible. Bro, just trying to smack me to death. Bro, you have to be like an ADHD hopped up on fucking sugar pills to play this shit, bro. I was reloading for 3 seconds and I got fucked!
Oh, this sniper has a fucking thermal scope. Why is this allowed?
Because it's dark.
What's going on, buddy? We're gonna talk about this one.
God, he was fucked!
No.
We did it! We did it! We did it!
You're done!
Bro thought he was him, but he's really not.
Knocked. Oh my god, go, push him, push him, push him.
I think I
He's just melee spamming! Oh, how do I, where's voice chat? Where's voice?
Can we buy my boy back? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! What? Chris Brown! Chris Brown!
What voice is this supposed to be?
I'm just not
I need a better backpack real bad.
I got mine, guys. Scarface. Yo, you're about to get your shit pushed in. Yeah, go have sex with your fucking grandma.
Wait, what's your push to talk button? Hey, fuck shit.
You're done! You're done!
You got this, Jesse. On loot.
I don't want to play League of Legends ever again. It's just over for me. There was literally zero fucking game audio.
Warzone also would basically just blatantly try to copy Fortnite, and it's just sad. It's like seeing your friend's older brother who like was the hip guy and you thought was so cool in like 2007 or 2008. Now he's like married at like 28 or something and has like a kid or two and everything, and he still tries to connect with that younger brother who's into the cool things like Fortnite. He doesn't get the appeal, but he tries his best to understand it and still be cool and hip. And that's basically how I see Call of Duty nowadays. So I've explained why Warzone slowly over the years has kind of failed. But a big problem is that Activision has literally put all of their time into Warzone. People are basically exclusively buying the new CODs just so they can have a fighting chance at actually winning some matches in Warzone. They're balancing the new COD multiplayers entirely around Warzone. You barely get any new updates for multiplayer side modes, and there's definitely not a lot of thought put into the campaigns, so all the attention is going into Warzone, maintaining it, bug fixes, trying to add a new fucking $20 marijuana skin pack every 3 days for people to buy. It's just really sad to see how the main focus of Call of Duty, which used to be the multiplayer, has just gotten basically completely abandoned by this point. The hardcore fans, the pro players, and the casuals don't really give a fuck about it anymore. Playing COD multiplayer now legitimately feels like a 9 to 5, and Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking wants me to shove a fork into my urethra. Look, this section should be a lot quicker than the last one. Skill-based matchmaking is not supposed to be in Call of Duty. People have talked about this for years. Activision has tried to remedy the situation by saying skill-based matchmaking has always existed in Call of Duty. Haha, nice try. Every single time that you are searching for a match, it's trying to calculate people who are a very similar skill level to you. It's going to try and put you on a team with those people and against those people who are a similar skill level to you. The problem with this comes is sometimes that's not always possible, so the game tries to compensate for this thing by sometimes it will put you on a team with people who are much better than you because they're expected to carry you, or sometimes it'll put you on a team with people who are much worse than you because you are expected to carry them. It creates a gameplay loop that is very unrewarding if you do well and feels shitty if you do bad.
These older CODs have anywhere from like 3 to 10,000 people, and we're finding matches instantly, yet the older games, you just lickety-split get right into the match, and the reason why is because they're not so heavily prioritizing your matchmaking based on skill. They're just like, look, we're gonna find you a match, man. I mean, sure, they're gonna try and balance the teams out. Maybe there's some level of skill-based matchmaking in the older titles, but the biggest thing is, ping is king. Let's get you into a lobby as fast as humanly possible, because that's what you bought the game for, was to play, not sit there in the goddamn main menu, sitting here going, oh boy, I hope I get into a really sweaty lobby with a bunch of nerds. I can't wait. Like, that's the problem with skill-based matchmaking right there. I got into a game of Team Deathmatch on 6 different COD titles, all in the time that it took me to get into one game of Team Deathmatch on the most current, up-to-date, advanced Call of Duty ever, until the next one comes out in a couple of months.
The thing is, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I understand that video games are just generally more competitive now and everybody's trying to be the next pro streamer, pro esport player, but Call of Duty was kind of a game that it felt like you could escape that a little bit. There's a big reason that a lot of people were on Call of Duty instead of a game like League of Legends or Counter-Strike. They wanted to be able to maybe come home for work or school and just, you know, run around the map, turn their brain off, have some mindless fun, get some kill streaks, drop some missiles on some children, have a good time, and not have to go to the IGL competitive grinder sweat mindset and feel like if you lose one round of one match that your entire family is going to be gunned down by an attack helicopter.
Just getting to stay in the building, did I tell you to leave?
It has pretty much killed the gameplay loop for every single Call of Duty fan I know. Every time a new COD has come out within the last like 4 years, I play a game, and the game is, how long are my friends going to play this for? I have a fair amount of friends who still buy COD every time it comes out, and these people are playing it just exclusively for the multiplayer. They want to level up, they want to get Master Prestige, they want to get the Mastery camo, and they want to drop a SIG 40 bomb and get a tactical nuke. I'm not even joking. When Modern Warfare 3 2023 dropped, I had a timer set for this. All of my friends, every single one of them, stopped playing this game after 3 weeks, not a month. 3 weeks from release, because the game had nothing to offer. There were OG Modern Warfare 2 maps and Modern Warfare 2 guns, but here's the thing. People didn't really care for the old maps from the Modern Warfare 2 game because they were that good. It was mostly because they were on Modern Warfare 2, which was a better COD game. When you combine the new multiplayer gameplay, which has a lot of Rainbow Six Siege-like elements because it's trying to be more competitive with leaning and crouching and things like riot shields and scanners and drones being way more important now because everybody's camping with some sort of stupid bullshit shotgun. It doesn't matter that you bring in these maps from the old COD games. No one cares because the game isn't fun. It legitimately will take you multiple matches without a double XP weekend to level up a weapon once. Anyone who's played a recent COD game knows it's true. It legitimately feels like when there's like a double weapon XP weekend, it feels like you have to fucking clock in for that shit. Like it is a job. The whole cycle of COD now just feels like it is designed to just get people to come back as much as possible, but without actually giving them a reason to log onto the game day to day. I remember Black Ops 3, for example. You can have your opinions about the Black Ops 3 specialist exo movement multiplayer, but honestly, the gameplay loop was addicting and felt like you could load in as a different specialist and have kind of something different to do because the abilities were wildly varied from one another and they were all insanely overpowered, so you would always have your moment in a match when you got your ultimate to do something crazy and drop a sick 5-man kill. Sometimes you'd be getting shit on by other people, but you'd always have your moment to shit on other people. And the exo movement and the wall riding honestly just made the gameplay so variable, and it actually gave you a lot of different ways to traverse every map. Black Ops 3 multiplayer was underrated, don't at me. But one thing I remember is the grind in that game. Unlocking all of the weapons in multiplayer and getting the max level honestly felt fun. All the weapons felt different enough from one another to where they were actually fun to use, and it didn't take 5 fucking years to get them all to max level and get all the camo challenges done for them. It was like an obtainable goal. Honestly, those are the main reasons people don't really fuck with the Call of Duty multiplayer anymore. It used to be fast-paced and addicting, and now it feels sluggish and way too tryhardy. But hey, at least there should be some good side modes for you to play, right? Activision hates zombies and optional side modes now. I could make an entire 4-hour video essay on how Call of Duty Zombies was actually a very beautiful, bizarre situation where a side game mode eventually became almost as popular as the base game that it was designed for. Something that we've never really ever seen happen in any video game. And there are a lot of fans who are still dedicated to it and love it, but Activision does not seem to be any of those people. They seem to just kind of treat it like an afterthought. Before we get too much into zombies, let's discuss the other side modes that Call of Duty has made recently, and if they're any good. Does anyone have anything to say about any of these? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. These modes had no effort or time to put it in them and were just purely designed to get pre-order numbers up to look good to shareholders. Zombies, however, made its big return in Black Ops Cold War in 2020, and it was fine. It was okay. The thing you gotta understand is Zombies was a huge hit with casual players and hardcore fans alike. Black Ops Cold War Zombies has a lot of mixed opinions. I'm one of the people who really doesn't like it that much, but I know there are a fair amount of people who do. But anytime I talk to these people who like Cold War Zombies and I ask them, well, did you play the older Zombies? Did you play this? Did you play that? They always say, no, Cold War Zombies was like my first Zombies game, and it always makes me feel so fucking old. I'm only 22, man.
You've never heard of Mob of the Dead?
You've never done the bomb step on Gorod Crovey and called your friend a slur because they did it wrong? The big question for me with Cold War Zombies is, why would I play this over any other zombie game? Half of the maps are just reused assets from other games or Cold War itself. Call of Duty has had a huge nostalgia boner in recent years, always bringing back old maps and old characters, your fan favorites returned and reimagined, and it's like, oh, I just would go play the old Call of Duty. I don't want to do this shit. It just feels so transparently desperate when they're like, hey guys, look at Call of Duty Vanguard, we brought back Shino Numa. You guys like Shino Nime, right? I don't give a fuck that you're bringing back a map from a 15-year-old game if you're putting it into the Zombies engine that legitimately feels like I'm playing a fucking mobile game. I'm not gonna talk about COD Vanguard Zombies because honestly, too many videos have been made about how this is literally the worst Zombies mode of all time. You couldn't even pause the game in a solo match and the rounds never ended. COD Vanguard was horrible and anti-consumer designed. And Cold War Zombies is just boring. All of the quote-unquote Easter eggs, all of them can be completed on your first run through the map because the game holds your fucking hand and literally hands every wonder weapon and important piece of the Easter egg to you. And also the sliding and mantling in Zombies just makes it to where there's like no map flow. You can kind of just go wherever you want. Doors don't really matter, and it sucks dick. You have motherfuckers like Fortnite Tifu who had never touched zombies in their life getting to round 100 when this shit dropped, bro. Even if you know nothing about how COD Zombies works, you should know that that should not be the case. Also, they got to the point where they decided that there were going to be no set characters or crews with their own specific stories in Zombies anymore. These modes were designed to be as easy as possible, with the maps having really simple layouts and flows, insanely incredibly easy to beat Easter eggs, and just really overpowered weapons and really overpowered abilities and things in the game that just allow you to get to whatever round you want, because they thought if they made Zombies appeal to the casual fans more, they would spend more money on operator skins. That didn't happen though, because even the casual fans got bored after a few run-throughs of all these maps and never touched them again, really. Not only did the hardcore fans get bored because they're like, wait, this isn't what we wanted, you just needed to do what you guys did before and just do it again. Basically, all Activision had to do was take all the elements that made Black Ops 3 Zombies so beloved and just copy and paste them into the new Call of Duty and just make new maps, new content with new stories and new characters. And that's kind of what they tried to do with Black Ops 4 and the Chaos storyline before Activision got cold feet and said, nah, this isn't gonna work. We need to, bring back the old Ether storyline that was already concluded and, rehash some old maps and characters and beat them into a lifeless corpse to make some more money. Yippee, I love pre-order bonuses. Jason Blundell, the main game director and mastermind behind maps like Mob of the Dead, Origins, Rise and Drag, Shadows of Evil, hell, all of the Black Ops 3 maps, ultimately left the studio or got fired, depending on whatever you believe, because of how horribly Zombies was handled in Black Ops 4. I don't hate Black Ops 4 Zombies necessarily, it had its moments, but I know the developers definitely did. I could make an entire video on how Black Ops 4 almost inadvertently destroyed Call of Duty, and it kind of led Call of Duty to the point where we currently find itself at, where no one cares about the campaigns because they're boring as hell and have no content. No one cares about the multiplayer because with every single passing update and release, it starts to feel less and less like Call of Duty. No one cares about the zombies because no real love or care is put into it at all. And it's just there to appeal to the casual fans, alienate nobody, and Warzone solely exists as the cash machine of Call of Duty to sell operators and continue to chase the trend of a dying battle royale genre into an early grave. So, that's modern Call of Duty for you. Oh fuck, I didn't even talk about the Fortnite shit. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Goofy shit has been in Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare back in 2014. Now here's the thing. When it was Exo Movement and it was futuristic shit, I liked the goofy stuff. Black Ops 3 had tons of goofy shit. You had motherfuckers whipping and hitting the Nene in the winner circle, and you had motherfuckers dressed up like this, but that worked in the crazy Exo Movement game where someone could slam into you with the force of 1,000 suns and insta-kill you and all your teammates. That shit was cool. It felt like it fit in those games, and they would keep some of the goofy stuff, but once they brought it back to ultra realism based off the cool epic wars in Iraq and Afghanistan that were fought over. Can anyone tell me what those wars were actually fought over besides oil? All of the goofy dumb shit doesn't feel like it fits in these games and is solely there to appease to the Fortnite crowd who only downloads and plays a video game because, hey look, LeBron James from Space Jam 2. It's like they saw how much people like the cool futuristic like weapons in Zombies that were like alien guns shooting out fucking galaxies at people, and then they brought those into multiplayer in Warzone, and they liked how much people like the quirky, weird, colorful anime and Gumby skins that were in Fortnite, and just decided to shamelessly try to steal those ideas. People have already made videos on this. I don't need to go into much further. It just feels like pandering yet again. And that's the ultimate issue with Call of Duty nowadays. Pandering. They try to pander to what the casual audience is nowadays to try and stay relevant, and it just doesn't really work. The Call of Duty audience and the casual gaming audience actually didn't overlap too much. Call of Duty just happened to be popular with a huge amount of people. That didn't necessarily mean the people who played Call of Duty were casual fans. There were a lot of people I knew who growing up only played like FPS games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, and like that was it. And a lot of those people still exist to this day where they only play shooter games. These people like Call of Duty the way it was. Yeah, they still play the new releases, but they don't even seem like they enjoy it anymore. Look, I've ragged on Call of Duty this entire video, but let me just conclude it with a little beam of positivity. Does anyone care about Call of Duty anymore? Yeah, I do. I care about Black Ops 6 at least. Like, I care about Treyarch, the game studio, which I made a video on the big difference of philosophy between Treyarch and Infinity Ward's gameplay design if you want to go watch that. If you want to see me make a video on Black Ops 4, and let me know, I guess. I appreciate that this game seems like it's not trying to be necessarily another reboot for the Black Ops saga. It's just actually a continuation from Cold War, and if it builds on the ideas and elements that Cold War had and just fixes the bad ones, we can be in a good spot. It's all gonna come down to the little details, because Call of Duty is ultimately very simple, and if they don't get the little details right, like, oh, I don't know, the fucking HUD, let's start there. I'm still gonna be buying it and playing it day one, haha, I'm part of the problem. Genuinely, let me know your thoughts in the video. Hopefully this video wasn't too boring. I've been Big Citrus, and have a damn good one. But before you leave, this song's almost at 1,000 streams on Spotify, and whoever gets it to 1,000 streams, I will suck your cock.
If you made Mirage in Apex Legends, here's a banger that you can probably relate to. I know it isn't Christmas, I know it ain't Christmas, but I'm on your bitch's wish list. I'm stunting on them, fucking on them. Yeah, I got something on them. I know that y'all wanna. I know y'all fucking wanna. I know it isn't Christmas, ain't no Santa Claus, ain't no Santa Claus, but my bitch is on your wish list. She's stunting on them, fucking on them. Yeah, she got something on them. I know that y'all want her. I know y'all want her bad. Back at it again, she throwing acid at it again. She asked, can I said, here I said, of course you can. Dinner with some pork chops and a bad bitch, and she got that dark hair. I'm drinking potions with a witch. I've been feeling like this life ain't mine. Even I got no dimes, I'm still gonna shine. I got the meat and cheese, he's got me ravioli. I'm on a creative cloud like my name was Adobe.
1, 2, 3, 4.